Welcome to a Frostpunk tutorial. It's AntiG123 and I'm here to help you be able to heat your home. So this is Frostpunk. If you've never played this before, then it's a bit of a savage game. So what exactly do you have to do in it? You have to basically survive, keep your citizens warm and well fed. So in this tutorial I'm going to teach you about gathering coal and using it to heat your home. So first we're going to have a look around, see what resources we've got. Let's have a look. Yeah, so we've got some steel wreckage and we've got some wood and some coal piles. So first is to build a workshop and get some tech. It's not something we're going to be focusing on this video, but in a future one, definitely. It's a very important thing, technology. But in this one, I'm basically going to show you how to get more coal and, gather it from whatever you have already on the floor, and then how to heat your buildings efficiently. We're not going to quite go into installation in buildings just yet. It's not fully. I'll do another video for that, but obviously that's going to go in with heating as well. But that'll be another video, as I say. So first, this is just the first day on the starter, so we're just going to check what the temperature is. So as you can see, it's chilly. Now that's not too bad. On a lower difficulty, on medium, it's not too bad to have it as chilly. But obviously, if it's extreme, for example, that's quite bad. You want to keep it livable if you can, or have very good healthcare. So obviously, it's -20. So first, I'm going to get faster gathering. So that will help me gather wood, steel, and coal faster. So that's. Sometimes I would usually go for beacon as well, but for just this video, I'm just going to focus on gathering coal. That's it. It's not going to be the only thing that we do, but for this video, it will. And then I'll probably do a video at the end, and after all my tutorial videos, and just give you an overall idea of how to build a city. Well, this one specifies how to get coal, just in case it's just coal you're missing out on. So, yeah, so we get more steel, and then so medical posts, just keeping those filled. With medical posts and cookhouses, and so hothouses as well, and there's a few other buildings. I believe actually it's only them infirmaries as well that you need to keep chilly, otherwise they don't work. And that's one thing you don't want to do, is sick people not getting healed. So obviously with the generator not turning on yet because no one's doing anything, that won't be till tonight, and then I'll keep it on to keep our people in a livable condition for now. So just doing my tent trick. So rather than building it right next to the generator, I put it a little bit further out. And the thing is, when you're heating a building, you only need to cover half of it or more with a heat zone, because I'm not even sure at least half of it is covered by a heat zone, heated by whatever the generator level is, and if they've got overdrive on. So if you just turn this on, so it takes 45 minutes to go up each heat level. So as soon as you turn it on, it will take 45 minutes exactly in game time to reach level 1 heat. And so as you can see, I'm building tents, and then those together will basically produce +2 heat. So obviously that's basically 0 degrees in those tents, meaning that it's comfortable and that no one will anyone sleeping still outside would be livable, because it doesn't have the perks of a tent. So obviously people will complain if your tents or your bunkhouses, whatever you've housed them in, if they're not livable or comfortable, they will start complaining about it, because they're people, they like to complain. So we're gonna have a look at what we can do. So that I was just showing there was basically the entire tech tree for heating. So that's what you have in your tech for heating, is basically like things like steam herbs, you've got heaters, you've got your power generator level, the maximum level you can push it to, and then it's range. Personally, I wouldn't go for range. If you went for range, it would probably, short term, it would be better for steel, but steam herbs are just in general better because they can be placed anywhere, even to the edge of the map, which is good. That's why I don't recommend ever using generator, because it just doubles the amount of energy you use when you can pretty much get the same amount of steam herb that uses half. Right, so you've got that now. So that's just going to stay there. So you can see just everyone's comfortable in the tents for now. And so it'd probably be a good time for me to mention that obviously in Frostpunk it's going to get colder, much colder. That'll be shown in your little tab, that'll be highlighted above. That's what I'll just show you once I've put this all together. So obviously on day 4, as we'll see here actually, on the temperature it's -20, and then day 4 temperature will drop significantly 2 levels. So that goes from chilly to very cold on the outside, and then day 6 it goes up by 1. But that's how the game kind of goes really. Most of the time it will go down, and usually it will go up, but not as much as it went down. Or if it does go down, it will not go back up again. It's just basically with the game getting slightly harder, and you've got to keep up that tech to keep your places heated. Now, I would recommend keeping everywhere at least chilly. That way everything works. Preferably livable, because that puts less strain on your healthcare. You need to kind of balance that out really well. Now, obviously when you're collecting coal, you're only going to have a finite time to last you until you get your technology. So, I've not quite built gathering post to gather the rest of the coal or any coal mine, but I will later. Because at the moment I'm just taking full advantage of the coal piles that are there now, because they're easier to collect. And so obviously it's telling me now that my steel wreckage is depleted. So obviously, as after about 10 to 14 days, you need that renewable resource of steel, coal, wood, and everything like that, because you're not going to be able to make any more. Well, not make, but gather more from the floor, which it'll be gone by then. So I've got my wood kits, So what I want to do now is get those in before the temperature drops. That way they're not in very cold conditions. Now, gathering posts, I'm just going to mention these because it's kind of getting close to that point where I need to just mention them, because it's what I'm going to be using now. Gathering posts, basically, a lot of people probably think, well, we probably won't get them, but they're really worth it. Now, on the first day, is use everyone you can, put them on emergency shift or whatever you want on that. But like once it gets a bit colder, like day 3, day 4, then do it then, because that way it makes everyone in there warmer, it makes them more efficient, use less people to collect basically more, and it's just overall better, and you can dismantle them if you really want to. In this video I'm not planning on to. I'm going to use them for a coal thumper. I might as well get onto that now actually. Basically coal thumpers, they make their own little piles of coal. Now you've got to man them. They're really handy if you've got plenty of free population and very little steam cores, because they don't need steam cores to build. But if you want to make 2 gathering posts and a fully functioning coal thumper, you're going to need 30 workers, or 30 workers, engineers, or even get children who you've put the law down for all jobs. Obviously it's a lot there, but if you want to put them in the gathering post, then you wouldn't need all jobs, so I wouldn't recommend that. But yeah, gathering post, if you put them in there, it would mean that you wouldn't even need to put the all jobs law down, because you just keep them in gathering post. It saves your workers then. So I'm just gonna build the path then now, and then put down the gathering post. Now the problem is, once you get past the point of gathering resources on their own without gathering posts, it's like you need to start building roads close to them to build those outposts. So it is a bit of a negative there, but in this case my coal piles are close to the coal deposit as well, where I can build a coal mine. So they're all that's alright. I'm not really wasting that much wood, and I'm going to be putting everyone in them to make plenty of coal. Now obviously you've got other priorities other than coal, but this video we're just going to focus on make sure you know how to get the coal if you need it. So I've just done the immersion shift to basically make people research. That's what I'm planning on doing at some point, to get them to work 24 hours to absolutely blitz the resource technology tree and do a bit of heating and stuff, just to show you what kind of bonuses you can get from it. So so there we go. So that's what I'm going to do, because I know if I get the level 2 power rating for my generator, it's going to counteract the 2 level drop in a day or 2. So now obviously in some cases you might not be able to do that. You might have to just stick with the 1 power level and just accept a few more sake. On a harder difficulty, that's what I would have to do. But if you're just starting out on easy or medium, something like that, then it's definitely doable to try and push to get that extra level, because it really makes that difference. As you can see, it's all comfortable there, so that's good. So I've got my gathering post there, so I'm gonna decide to just build coal thumpers. So these normal ones, they need, if you want to collect, basically be as efficient as you can with them, build 2 gathering posts next to those. They're just the basic ones, obviously fully manned. So we put that down, need to build a road. And now you can get steam coal thumpers. Now these, again, they don't need steam coals, and they produce about twice as much coal piles as the normal one, the normal steam coal thumper, sorry. And basically they're twice as good. They've got an extra level of insulation on them. They're really good, but as I say, that's only if you really want to go for coal thumpers. As I started out, I usually went for coal mines, but then again I was a bit restricted on my steam coals that way. it's in some cases it's kind of necessary to use a coal thumper, like in refugees, for example. That's steam cores and things like that. They're just a little bit too rare, and it's kind of necessary to use the coal thumpers because you've got so many population and refugees. It's better to do that now. So I'm just 24-hour and everything there, so I can get it as fast as I can, so I don't have to build that gathering post. So just do another one. So yeah, since we've got a few dead people, we're gonna just do a snow pit. Just a little note for snow pit. I'll say it's the one building that you have to keep cool. And when I say that, keep out of the heat zone, because otherwise people will start getting sick as anything with that, being heated up, with everyone decomposing basically faster. So that's the only building that you really want to make sure it's cold. Which really is not too much of a problem anyway. You're always going to have 1 or 2 zones close to your roads that's going to be not heated, so that's not a problem. So I'm just going to fill these gathering posts, so when it comes back to tomorrow, they will be collecting those 2 coal piles as much as they can, and it's basically just going to fill my coal stocks in. So just going more into gathering posts, anything within their radius, basically they will collect, and it will kind of even it out a bit more. Like if it's wood or coal, they will kind of half their collection rates between, which is kind of good, especially if it's just coal. You're just collecting coal. But if it's a bit mixed, then sometimes it can be a bit frustrating that you can't really choose what they pick. They just pick it all. But yeah, that's a bit of a nuisance, but in this case we're lucky. 2 coal piles on their own, not a problem. So one thing I want to get as well is the steam hub, so I can heat all those workplaces. Nice, we've got that steel wreckage, yeah. So I'm just going to take that off because I know it's too risky to keep that on it. So
wrap up well. The frost is here.
I know that's gone down to cold now. That's not good, so I need to. So I'm just moving them from place to place now. Yeah, and this is me realising that I need to get a steam hub. There we go. Now with steam hubs, you've got to be careful because you can either set them to be 24 hours or 10 hours or 14 hours, depending on whether you've got extended shift on or whether it's got houses or medical posts about, because medical posts and houses need to be constantly heated. Constantly, otherwise obviously there's people going to be in it at some point in the day. Now for these coal thumpers, yeah, with those, if you do normal shifts, just put it in start time, and as soon as it finishes at the end of the day, it goes off. But you need to make sure when you build it, to make sure whether it's 24 hours or 10, 12 hours, 14 hours, whatever shifts you've got, as I said. Otherwise you're going to burn through like an extra 8 hours of coal, and it really adds up if you don't, it's a lot of micromanaging with the coal. So as you can see, people are getting a bit sick because they're cold at the moment, so I'm just trying to solve that problem. And the thing is, people, they won't complain unless it's very cold or freezing in workplaces. Yeah, but what I'm saying is it's really important to keep your houses warm, because people tend to get really ill much more often if all their houses are cold compared to if their workplaces are cold, because they usually spend a little bit more time in the houses or just away from work in general. Usually they would class them as being home. So that. storage can't handle it. Because otherwise you're wasting productivity and it's not efficient to do that. So obviously I'm building coal mines now. It's overall coal mines are sort of better than coal thumpers and gathering posts, especially early on, because the number of people you're going to have is going to be quite low. So you're not going to be able to afford to give 30 people into one coal thumper compared to just 10 people for a coal mine. It's just how it is. Especially at the early stages, you just don't have the manpower to do it. So I would recommend either a coal mine, or you can also use a charcoal kiln. Now this is not something I use very often, and the reason why is because it likes to absolutely devour your wood stores. So that's, it's a good thing for sometimes, but you need to be very careful not to build 3. But obviously with manpower as well, they only need 5 people in them, so even less. But as I say, every building's got its pros and cons. Like coal thumper, you get a good decent amount of coal out of it. You don't have to use steam cores, but it needs 3 times the manpower as coal mines do. Like coal mines, they don't need that much manpower, but they need a steam core. But they're overall slightly cheaper than getting 2 gathering posts and a coal thumper. And then charcoal kilns, 5 people, and they do roughly the same amount of coal, I believe, but they don't need steam cores. 5 people to get 100% efficiency, but you do need to compensate with a lot of wood supplies. Otherwise, if you don't, you're not going to be able to build anything. It's just how it's going to be. So you need to make sure that you don't kind of get locked into that kind of position where you can't build anything. But if you get off your charcoal kilns, your city freezes. You gotta that's why I try and sit on the coal mines here. But you've also got to make sure you've got the steam cores to do it. So obviously you can upgrade your generator 4 levels over the game. You can do heating levels, which you can turn on separately. They use 1, 2, 3 coal an hour, depending on the level. Unfortunately, you can't adjust those levels, so it has to be whatever technology level you've done. Obviously, you can use the overdrive as well to push your level up, but you've got to be careful. Otherwise, if you leave it on for too long, you get prompts to throw steam cord into the generator, or a child, I'm not even kidding, or you just let it explode. And if you by the second time, then it just explodes. So you've got to be very careful. I have lost so many times because I wasn't paying attention that my overdrive was still on. But that's how brutal this is. If you're not paying attention, you've got to be careful with it. So hold on, is that everything? I believe that's pretty much everything that it is. Like, that's basically the entire coal resource explained in this level. Apart from one thing that's not going to be shown here is coal outposts, which will be 800 coal to you every single day. This is technology that you need to build an outpost depot, and obviously some levels won't have it, some do, in the campaigns only, and they'll bring you 800 a day. So they are fantastic and well worth it. They cost a bit, but they are brilliant. So if you can get one, do that. You can rely on it for about half the game. And that's pretty much everything now. So really, just hope that, this has taught you more. If you've got any questions, put a comment down. Obviously, I'll be doing more tutorials on this. So, hope you enjoyed, and yeah, you know, happy frostpunking, I would say, and just enjoy the rest of the video. So it's Anthony G123 signing out.